Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression from it to the final product?
By making a preliminary task, it helped me explore Photoshop and discover what I can do using different tools. It made me discover how to keep my house style consistent and to practice creating the dividers and the columns. I feel like making a preliminary task benefited me in many ways as I'd learnt a lot of things. When I'd made my preliminary task, there was lots of dead space shown, and this therefore made me more ambitious to cover up the dead space so my magazine looks more intriguing. When I had taken my images, they didn't look professional. This made me realise for my own magazine, if I wanted it to look original, I would need to make sure my images were in a much better quality. When I had placed my columns on my contents page, they didn't look as organised as how they should have been. I learnt from this that I would have needed to make my columns look tidy and neat, or my contents page would look messy. The text on my preliminary contents page was all in a straight line, however I decided to make part of my magazine look unique by having a canted angle image of my front cover. Using the colours on Photoshop made me realise what type of colours would suit the genre of hip-hop. I realised showing white text with red and black looked quite boring, and I needed a more extravagant bright colour to add effect to my magazine. On my final contents page, I had also developed the use of having a bold subheadings so they stand out. I didn't do this on my preliminary task, and after producing it, I had realised it looked quite dull and boring. On my front cover, I decided to use a different technique by using the opacity tool to blend my cover line well in with the image. I didn't do this on my preliminary task, however I thought it was eye-catching and different. The chance of creating Beach Mag made me more confident with using Adobe Photoshop, therefore when I came to producing my actual product it was easier to use Photoshop.